sometimes with young players, when you first come in, a lot of times, sometimes training camps are misleading at times where, you see a lot of guys come in, they're on adrenaline, they play well. And then sometimes as preseason goes on and the rosters get tighter and more towards an NHL style roster, sometimes you see players that can almost get through training camp. And then lots of times then they wind up going down in the American League, and then reality sets in where it's the second best league in the world. And, it's understanding what your game is and what your identity is and trying to do that on a consistent basis. I think at the same time for prospects is understand, the hardness of the pro game in the situation where, you're playing against sometimes older guys, stronger guys, more experienced guys, smarter players than at the lower levels. And I think it just comes into these situations for young players is they have good spurts. It could be a training camp. It could be a call-up. But then sometimes it dries up for a little bit. And then the real essence of your pro career is trying to get to that game, whether it's in the NHL or the American League regularly. And, I haven't been here. I wouldn't necessarily say my experience is that Beckman's status has dropped. To your point, too, there's a lot of younger prospects coming, but some of these guys are going to go through the same processes. So I think, for him and some other guys that have had opportunities here or are in Iowa now, it's proving yourself at that level to be consistent enough and play with an identity that gives you a chance to play in the NHL. And then each chance you get is your game in the American League translating and ready to be able to perform at the NHL level. And then it's the call up, the send down, the different opportunities. And that's the growth of a young player. Well, he's one of his essences, he's a good offensive player. He's got a good shot. He can play with speed. Those things have to be able to translate regularly in the NHL and then the other part too, that sometimes at the American League level, the difference in the NHL level sometimes is just size, strength, speed. Then your ability to be able to play on the puck as an offensive guy is sometimes the next challenge that a player has to go through. So we'll see where it goes.